And as she said, folks are waking up to temperatures around the freezing point this morning, and it's going to be even colder tonight. News Channel 5's Cuthbert Langley is downtown on Broadway for us this morning. And Cuthbert, this is, of course, the first burst of cold air this season. A good time to remind folks to get prepared. What do you suggest?
Yeah, absolutely, Jennifer. As we're walking around Nashville today, going out to maybe some post-Halloween events or just really anywhere, it's going to be chilly, as Kelly said, so dress warmly. We hear it all the time, but it's definitely the case. Last night, wind was anything but our friend. As I was driving into work this morning, it was funny seeing how folks around here were trying to change their costumes a little bit, adding those jackets, adding those scarves around. As Kelly said, the wind chill really brought us down to being quite chilly last night. Those freeze warnings will be sticking around throughout the weekend, and we hear these all the time. But with this first big chill, it's always important to remember how to successfully dress for these cold temperatures. Biggest rule, dress in layers. Again, something we hear all the time, but wear thin, warm layers. That way, if it gets colder, you can add more layers. If it gets warmer, you can take those off. Also, those exposed areas, your hands, your feet, your ears, those are the areas where you lose heat the most. So make sure those are bundled up as best they can be. And here's a little tip for you. I didn't know this at all until this morning, actually, but mittens are actually better for you than gloves. That's because, of course, your fingers are closer to each other, so that actually increases the warmth around your hands. And lastly, ditch the cotton socks whenever it's cold. Make sure you go wool. That helps kind of keep the heat there for you. So just some tips this morning as you're walking around and braving these cold temperatures. Of course, we'll have much more coming up a little bit later in the show, including an easy household product. It's cheap that actually could help you save a whole lot of money on your heating bill. We'll have that coming up in 30 minutes. For now, though, we're live here on Broadway. Cuthbert Langley, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Cuthbert, thank you. The Woodland Hills escapee wanted in connection with a shooting near the TSU campus is behind bars this morning, and he'll be facing charges in both adult and juvenile courts. Metro Police arrested Demario Fisher yesterday afternoon at a home in Madison. A tip led police to the house on Moorwood Court, where officers spotted Fisher inside. After he was handcuffed, police say he tried to fight back and reached into the back of his pants, and a loaded semi-automatic pistol fell out. Police say Fisher was responsible for the shooting Wednesday night of a TSU freshman and her friend as they walked near the university. And now that Fisher is in custody, TSU and community leaders say these events should remind everyone to continue to work together to keep the area safe.
We declare that we work with our law enforcement and with the good citizens of this community to ensure safety and that citizens feel safe when they sit on their porches.
Fisher escaped from the Woodland Hills Youth Development Center in early September with 30 other teens. He is the last one to be recaptured. He's now facing multiple charges in connection to his escape, the TSU shooting, and his scuffle with police. He's being held on a $300,000 bond. Police say they believe he's been getting help from people in the community, but they do not know who at this point. The sole survivor of a mass shooting in Kentucky last weekend has now been charged in the murders. Police have charged Ryan Champion with 4 counts of capital murder and 1 count of capital kidnapping in connection with the deaths of his parents, his sister, and another man. The bodies of Lindsay Champion, his wife Joy, and their daughter Emily, as well as Vito Riservato, were found last Sunday inside the Champions' home in Cadiz. Originally, 36-year-old Ryan Champion said he too was taken hostage by Riservato, but he claimed he had managed to escape when he spoke with us the day after the killings.
How are you personally holding up? You seem remarkably composed.
Well, I'm just I've got one of those mentalities to just soldier through something. Really, that's what's been carrying me through, is that things need to be done. Especially, some people aren't doing so well. And to be honest, I really don't know yet, really, how to feel about any of it.
A joint funeral service for Lindsay, Joy, and Emily Champion will be held tomorrow afternoon at the Trigg County High School gym in Cadiz. A Moore County couple is in jail accused of killing their newborn. A grand jury indicted Blaine and Carrie Roper on 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, 1 count of premeditated first-degree murder, and 2 counts of felony murder. Authorities say they began investigating the couple back in September after getting a tip about the unreported death of their baby. Police say that child was born in August, but the Ropers kept the pregnancy hidden from family and friends. The child's remains were later found in a fire pit and ditch. The Ropers are each being held on a $1 million bond. There were a handful of disappointed Foo Fighters fans outside the Ryman Auditorium last night after they were denied entry into the rock group's concert, but overall, the much-anticipated show went smoothly. We found a long line of people waiting to get into the show, and nearly all of them had tickets that were honored. Tickets for the show sold for $20 apiece, but many people bought tickets on third-party websites for hundreds of dollars. The Ryman had announced, though, that they would not honor those tickets, and management actually canceled many of them and resold them yesterday morning.
And this morning we got a call and they said that the tickets had been canceled from Ticketmaster and that we would not be able to go. They totally killed the tickets and then they resold them on Ticketmaster this morning. So someone else has my tickets right now.
But you did get a refund?
Yes, we did. We were able to get a refund this morning.
That woman told us she had originally spent $600 for 2 tickets to the show.